What kind of person blocks a disabled teenager in a wheelchair on a public sidewalk, only to find out she's streaming the whole thing live to thousands of strangers? That's the question I kept asking myself after my daughter Mia, a 14-year-old with spinal muscular atrophy, got cornered by our HOA president, Evelyn Harper, right here in our so-called welcoming neighborhood of Sunnyvale Meadows, Nash v. Wiley. Evelyn thought she could bully Mia into ditching her electric wheelchair because of some outdated HOA rule. But she had no idea who she was messing with, either that the chief of police was about to crash her power trip with a lesson in disability rights. I'm Sarah Mitchell, though everyone just calls me Sarah. I'm a physical therapist, working with disabled patients every day, so you'd think I'd be used to fighting for accessibility. But nothing prepared me for the battle to protect my own daughter's right to roll down our neighborhood sidewalks. Mia's got spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA, a genetic condition that weakens her muscles over time. She's been in a wheelchair since she was 4, and when she hit her teens, we upgraded to an electric one. It's not just a gadget, it's her freedom, her legs, her way to live like any other kid. We moved to Sunnyvale Meadows about a year ago so Mia could attend Crestwood Academy for the Arts, a school with a killer music program and top-notch accessibility. The neighborhood seemed like a dream: new houses with wide doorways, smooth sidewalks winding through the community, and a park where they held outdoor concerts. Mia was over the moon about being able to sit friends on her own, something she couldn't do in our old neighborhood with its busted, uneven paths. For a while, everything was perfect. Mia was killing it at school, making friends left and right, and zooming around in her chair like she owned the place. Then Evelyn Harper came back from her fancy European vacation. Evelyn, a retired principal in her late 50s, ran the HOA like she was still patrolling high school hallways. Picture a woman with a flawless silver bob, crisp blouses, and a permanent scowl that could curdle milk. She'd been HOA president for 9 years, unchallenged after she'd scared off anyone who dared run against her. Trouble started 2 weeks after she returned, when a notice showed up on our door claiming Mia's wheelchair violated HOA rules against unauthorized motorized vehicles on sidewalks. I was floored. I checked the handbook, and sure enough, there was a rule banning scooters, mopeds, golf carts, and recreational transportation devices. Mia's wheelchair? Not even close to that category. I shot off an email to the HOA board, explaining that Mia's chair was a medical necessity, protected by the Americans with Disabilities Act. I figured that'd clear things up. Instead, Evelyn herself replied, writing, "While we sympathize with your daughter's condition, rules apply to everyone. Sidewalks are for safety, so Mia can use a manual wheelchair instead." I read that and felt my blood boil. A manual wheelchair for someone with SMA is like telling a fish to climb a tree. Mia doesn't have the arm strength to push herself more than a few feet. Her electric chair isn't a toy, it's her lifeline. I fired back a formal letter, quoting ADA laws, attaching a note from Mia's doctor, and CCing the whole board. Crickets. I thought maybe they'd backed off. Then, one afternoon while I was at work, Evelyn went after Mia directly. Mia was rolling to her friend Lily's house, 2 blocks away, when Evelyn stepped right in front of her. "Young lady," she said, all high and mighty, "you're still using that motorized chair despite my instructions to your mother." Mia, who's dealt with her share of busybodies, kept her cool. "My wheelchair's protected under the ADA. I can use it anywhere pedestrians can go." Evelyn wasn't having it. "This is private property," she snapped. "Our HOA sets the rules." Mia held her ground, citing Title III of the ADA and the Fair Housing Act like a pro. I was so proud when she told me later, but Evelyn's parting shot chilled me. "We'll see about that. The board's discussing enforcement soon." After that, we got 2 more violation notices. Neighbors started giving us weird looks, and I heard from a board member that Evelyn was spreading lies, saying we were demanding special treatment and endangering everyone. It was wearing Mia down. She started hesitating to go out alone, her hard-won independence slipping away. Mia's a TikTok star, with a big following where she shares her life with SMA and her music. Her posts, usually so upbeat, started sounding frustrated as she vented about the discrimination. The showdown that flipped everything happened on a sunny Saturday. Mia and her friend Lily, a violist who never treated Mia differently because of her chair, were set to record a cello violin duet in the neighborhood Miss Byplay for Mia's TikTok. They set up by the park gazebo, perfect for acoustics, and went live with a Bach concerto. About 200 people were watching when Evelyn stormed up the path. Lily spotted her first, her bow faltering. Mia turned her chair, and there was Evelyn, glaring. "This area's not for private concerts," she barked, then zeroed in on Mia. "And I've warned you about that motorized vehicle." The live stream was still rolling, catching every word. "We're not breaking any rules," Mia said, steady as a rock. "The park's open to everyone, and we're not bothering anybody." Evelyn wasn't backing down. "That's not your call. And that chair's banned on our sidewalks." Lily, quiet till now, spoke up. "Mrs. Harper, Mia needs her chair to move. It's not fair to stop her." Evelyn scoffed. "Life's not fair, dear. Rules are for everyone. If we make exceptions, where does it end?" By now, the live stream was blowing up. Mia's followers were sharing it like crazy, comments flooding in, most slamming Evelyn's attitude. The viewer count shot past 1,000, then 5,000. Mia tried again. "My chair's a medical necessity, protected by the ADA. Blocking me is illegal." Evelyn snapped. "Don't lecture me about laws. I've run this place since before you were born. Go home and use a manual chair." Mia's voice cracked just a bit. "I can't use a manual chair. My condition makes it impossible." Evelyn didn't blink. "That's your problem, not ours." Lily, who'd been texting like mad, suddenly picked up her violin and started playing "Fight Song," one of Mia's favorite empowerment anthems they'd arranged for strings. Mia grinned, grabbed her cello, and joined in. The music soared, drawing neighbors to the park. Evelyn was livid. "Stop this now! Your violating noise rules!" But the girls kept playing, the live stream hitting 10,000 viewers. A local news station picked it up, and soon, hashtags like the Let Me Roll were trending. Among the alerts was Chief Daniel Carter, head of Nashville's police and uncle to a teen with cerebral palsy. He'd pushed for disability training in his department, and wasn't about to ignore a report of a disabled kid being harassed. When his unmarked car pulled up, Mia and Lily were still playing, surrounded by neighbors. Evelyn stood firm, arms crossed, clearly rattled but stubborn. The stream was at 30,000 viewers and climbing. Chief Carter, tall and calm, walked over. "Afternoon, folks. Trouble here?" Evelyn lit up, thinking she had backup. "Yes, officer. These girls are breaking HOA rules and ignoring orders to stop." She listed her complaints: motorized vehicles, unlicensed performances, noise. Carter turned to Mia and Lily. "Your side, ladies?" Mia explained, clear and confident. "I have SMA and need my electric wheelchair. Mrs. Harper's trying to ban it from sidewalks, which violates the ADA." Carter's face stayed neutral, but he nodded. "Mrs. Harper, did you know power wheelchairs are protected under federal law?" Evelyn waved him off. "This is private property. Our HOA makes the rules." Carter's tone sharpened. "Not quite. HOAs can't enforce rules that break anti-discrimination laws like the ADA or Fair Housing Act. A rule that disproportionately harms disabled people, even if it seems neutral, is illegal. It's called disparate impact discrimination." Neighbors were gathering now, murmuring. The stream hit 50,000 viewers. Carter continued. "Blocking someone's mobility device could even be seen as harassment in some cases." Evelyn paled. "Are you threatening to arrest me for enforcing our standards?" Carter stayed cool. "No, ma'am. I'm advising you to consult a disability law expert before pushing this rule again." A neighbor shouted. "Let her use the sidewalks, Evelyn!" Another chimed in. My dad uses a scooter. You banning him too? Evelyn looked around, realizing she was losing the crowd. The cop she thought would back her was schooling her instead, and thousands online were watching her discriminate in real time. I got there just then, after frantic texts from Mia and neighbors. This isn't over, Evelyn hissed, stepping aside. The board will handle this. I shot back. Good. So will our lawyer, and the DOJ's CIVYL rights DVY Shaun, if needed. She glared and stalked off, her heels clicking furiously. Chief Carter introduced himself, mentioning his niece's disability. Your daughter's a champ, he told me. Most adults wouldn't stay that composed. I sighed, proud but heavy. She's had too much practice. The fallout was wild. The live stream, plus neighbors' videos, hit local news that night and went national by morning. Disability advocates shared it, calling out everyday barriers for wheelchair users. The HOA held an emergency meeting Sunday, and Evelyn faced a fed-up community. Neighbors spilled tea on her selective enforcement and bully tactics. One dad said, "My kids skated on these paths for years, no issue. But a disabled girl's wheelchair is a problem?" An older woman added, "Evelyn let my husband use his scooter because we're founding members. I didn't know she was discriminating against others." By the end, the board voted to scrap the motorized vehicle rule, replacing it with one targeting only unsafe recreational vehicles. They apologized to Mia, accepted Evelyn's voluntary resignation, pushed by their panicked lawyer, and formed an accessibility committee. 2 days later, Evelyn's son, Michael Harper, a disability rights lawyer, emailed me. He was mortified, explaining Evelyn's undiagnosed cognitive decline, likely early frontotemporal dementia, which can cause rigid thinking. He was MOVing to Nash VY to manage her care and fix her mess. It didn't excuse her, but it explained her growing hostility. Mia's TikTok blew up to 200,000 followers. She spoke at a state conference on inclusive design, joined Nash VY's Youth Accessibility Council, and helped Chief Carter develop police training on disability disputes. The new HOA board, led by a woman whose mom used a wheelchair, added ramps and mapped accessible routes, with Mia's input. Evelyn, after her diagnosis, invited Mia to play at an Alzheimer's fundraiser her son organized. Mia, ever gracious, accepted, showing compassion even to someone who wronged her. At the event, Mia's cello filled the room, and she spoke about navigating life's paths with dignity, whatever wheels you use. Weeks later, as Mia and Lily played another duet in the park, now with the HOA's blessing and a crowd of cheering neighbors, I watched Mia's face glow. A neighbor stopped us after. "I never noticed accessibility barriers before," she said. "Now I see them everywhere. Thank you." That was the real win, not just securing Mia's rights, but opening eyes to the obstacles wheelchair users face, not because of their bodies, but because of how we build our world.